Perfect. I will start reading. So we started off with our players rolling to see who wakes up first and then going over how that happens for them. What was that first moment that made them aware that something has changed? Belv urinated himself, and that warm feeling brought him awake. Wookie awoke to the smell of urine. Wade felt the memory of some sort of pain in their lower back and came awoke with a start, crying out in pain. Frost heard something in the back of his head telling him to wake up. It was then that self-assessment time for our players. Belv noticed that he had pale skin, black veins running through his body. He was naked, and even though he still hadn't taken a breath, he felt pretty good. Wookie sat up, noticed he was pretty large, covered in fur, long arms that ended in claws, and large clawed feet. Wade was very small, female. The skin around her was stretched very thin, and she felt wings on her back that were full of holes. Frost also had fur, some sort of bushy tail, and long floppy ears. As some of you spoke your first words, or first word, memories started to float back into your heads. Words started to appear, still no memories of how you knew things, but somehow you did know how to speak, read, write, and even communicate. Once you were all knew you were not alone, you started slowly moving about, trying to get a sense of what was going on. It was dark, really dark. But after you all walked for the first time, fell, got back up, bumped into each other, you noticed a small, very thin bit of light coming from about 40 feet in one direction. As you all moved closer, you saw shades of each other and the cave that you were in. All around you were rocks, dirt, and massive boulders. After a bit of talking, you all knew something bad had happened, but none of you could remember what it was or even who you were. Memories of things started to flip back into your heads here and there, only coming out when you either saw, felt, or smelt something that you were remembering. After figuring out what you needed to dig your way out, you tried to do it yourselves, but even the big guy was having trouble without everyone working together. Took you a long time, and after a few hours, you emerged from the cave and woke up. That you woke up into something brighter, larger, and one of you remembered that it looked like a mine. You all then saw each other for the first time with the light from the cave itself. Bioluminescent moss and glowing blue veins of rock was the only light source, but it was enough. Belv was about 6 feet tall, pointy ears, very pale skin, and naked. Wookie was huge, almost 8 feet tall, brown and white fur, long dangly arms. Wade was a very tiny, almost ethereal, and looked like would turn to dust at the slightest breeze. Frost was a bunny person. White patchy fur and ears, and tried to stay upright, but kept flopping over. Above table, they are a Shatter Kai, Bugbear, Fairy, and Heron. Still using the stat block Reborn, of course. Not that you have hardly any stats. After walking through the mine, you also noticed that it was caved in, and you had to navigate a lot of rocky debris. When you finally hit the end of that tunnel, you came face to face with a gigantic skeleton of some dead creature that looked like it was trying to get into the much smaller hole. It also looked like something crushed it, as a huge pile of rocks and stalactites were scattered all around it. The teeth were larger even than the big guy, and after Belv started pulling a finger off to use as a weapon for the just in case, you heard something rattle inside the jaws of the beast. One was a black helm, and the other was a massive greatsword. Belv grabbed the helm, put it on, and everyone saw his eyes start to glow red, and the rest of his face to fade away into shadow. Loki grabbed the sword, and it said, "Hi." After talking out loud, the rest of the party looking at you like you lost your mind, even though you just got it back, the sword and Wookiee came to an agreement. The sword would allow him to use him as long as he wasn't a total useless git. The sword was also named Snickersnack and seemed to also have memory issues. After you pulled apart the skeleton to use as daggers, spears, etc., you moved further into the mine. Here's where you started to see trickles of water flowing and a wide variety of crystals glowing along the path. The crystals also started to change color, give off faint noises, Shadowy faces started to appear, and some looked like had something moving inside of them. Each of you then decided to touch the glowing crystals that were dream crystals. You were pretty much given like either a quick memory of who you were or about the body that you're currently in. The dream crystal also took payment or awarded something in exchange for this memory. Belv gained a flaw that made him quite vain. Wookie at some point will be given a vision quest. Wade gained the Fey touched feat, and Frost became alive again, but only for 4 days, at which point something will happen and hurt a lot. From here, you moved on, found an old abandoned camp that was mostly destroyed, and signs of battle spread around the open area. After an hour of searching and looking around, you could ascertain that there must have been. Lost myself. You could ascertain that you must have been here at some point, but the memory of it was not there. Frost rolled really well and found a note and a torn page out of a journal, and after reading both himself, passed it around. You were indeed in a mine, the Brigadook mine, and that the creature you passed was called Wimblotch. It was an ancient Jabberwock. Someone named Strongheart seemed to be the one that sent you here, and after you looted what you could, looked around, and picked a path. It was here that Wookie started talking out loud to himself once again, and somehow heard Frost's voice in his head saying, "Don't trust him, don't trust him." Somehow, Frost had unlocked something in himself, and he could speak into other people's heads, just like the sword. Yeah, I'll put that aside for now, headed upwards towards what looked like to be light, actual daylight. Also, the sounds of an incoming storm was heard. The rumble of thunder came to your ears, and you finally found the exit to the mine. Belv saw a torn piece of paper on the mine door and grabbed it. It was a map of where they were, and it was somewhere called Yawn. You then heard someone singing in the forest ahead, a mournful song about loss, and after the song was over, from the forest walked out a 3-foot dandelion. Called himself Amador, and he couldn't find the love of his life and asked you all to help. Which is where we ended and where we were picking up, and I will tell our buddy to come back. All right, I don't know where he put himself. Okay.
I want to message him.
Yeah, I did. All right, so perfect. All right. Sheep. I can't call you Hal in this game, so we're going to go with sheep.
Sounds good.
What is that first moment you realize that you're either alive or awake for you? Describe a sensation for me, or how do you think you wake up?
I had no idea.
Do you think it's a thought? Do you think it's movement? What do you think wakes you up?
I'm going to go boring. I woke up well rested. I finally had a good nap.
I like that. So in your head, do you think you take a breath?
No.
Hmm.
I'm going to
Okay.
go with no.
You open your eyes, fiddle a little, but you don't see anything. And in fact, you can't really move at all. You're awake and alive, but something is holding you tight. Nothing's letting you move, and you feel like a pressure all over you.
Good pressure or bad pressure?
More of a bad pressure.
Okay, so I don't try to go back to sleep.
Under pressure.
Can I just try wriggle?
Yeah, you can give me a straight strength roll at disadvantage, please, because this is the first time you've ever moved again. So you're basically rolling me a D8, sorry, a D20, and we're taking -1 off both rolls. Because you're pretty much all 8s across the board stat-wise right now.
I'm just going to open something to roll on.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, there's dice on Roll20 you could use.
Yeah, that's what I am using. I'm just not in the Roll20 chat with you guys.
Oh. Do you have the link still?
Somewhere?
Okay, I
I was looking
will
for it before.
grab it and...
I rolled a 3.
Okay, so you got a 2.
No, I
That's
rolled a 4 down to a 3.
okay. That's still fitting for the rest of the people here. They have been rolling terrible because everything that you all do is at disadvantage. Here, I put it in the Roll20. I put it in the gameplay chat for you.
That's cool.
You try to move, nothing happens. But you realize you're not alone by something. You're not too sure what it is. As you start to try and struggle, you hear a slow, deep voice inside your head. Oh, you were alive again? Well, fancy that. Don't you worry at all, my little furry friend. Good old Red here will take good care of you. You suddenly feel extremely restful again, almost as if you want to go back to sleep. Can I have a con save at disadvantage?
No.
Ooh,
1.
a 1. Oh. Yeah, a nap sounds really, 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 really good. Naps are good. Naps are nice. You feel like something puddle you. A whole bunch of things are moving about you, like giving your whole body a hug. The rest of you, as soon as you meet your lovely companion, you see him like cock. If he had an ear, it's kind of hard to tell because he's a 3-foot dandelion. What's up? Avast! And you see him dash off into the woods.
Do we
Follow?
follow him?
I'll take off sprinting after him.
Can I have perception rolls, please?
Crap, is that one still +1 or -1 for us?
Still -1. Oh yeah.
Still disadvantage or just regular rolls
no.
at this point?
No. Disadvantage for this. You have no idea where you are or what's going on.
Nice.
So a 16 for mine.
Okay, that's actually pretty good rolling for you. What's the Belv got?
Oh, sorry, I said 9.
9? Perfect. Yeah, you're muted. Okay. Well, the big guy, at least you're tall, which is probably a good reason why you can see where he's going. He's running to a massive red oak. And you see him just like grab his tiny little rapier and stab this massive red oak. And you hear him just go, Avast! Let that one go, Red. Red, let him go. Something's going on here, and some of the dead are being reborn again. Could be things are either breaking apart here or repairing themselves. I don't know. Their roots can find other nutrients. Damn it. Let them go.
I'll ask Snickersnack, do you want to help?
Yes, kill it.
Alright, I guess I'm going. I'll start lumbering down.
Okay. As soon as like you start thumping and thumping, under sheep, you're in the middle of trying to sleep, but you feel something like above you just start thumping, like something's moving. Something pretty big is moving towards you.
Fee, fi, fo, fum.
I'm telling you to fuck off.
You try to speak, but dirt and sand just fill your mouth
I mumble.
and like fills it completely.
Wow.
Well, good thing we don't need to breathe.
I'm trying to go back to sleep. Okay.
You do still want to sleep. As soon as give me an attack roll. Are you going to attack the tree?
Do I notice any bodies first, or
No, Amador's pretty much just got like his rapier like right against the tree bark, and you just see the tree kind of like wiggling and whatnot.
I will slash at it.
Okay, as soon as you like almost like you like start to, Amador just goes, no, it's not his fault, not his fault. Hold. Are you gonna hold?
Yeah.
Okay. You swing Snicker Snack and like almost hit this tree, and then you just hear the tree go, "Oh, sorry about that. I this is new to me. Sure, yeah, no, I'll let him go. Sorry, Amador. He's I wanted to cuddle something. It's been a while." And from the ground, well, sheep, you feel being lifted up. You're being moved by. It's kind of hard to see because you can't see anything. The rest of you at the bottom of this massive red oak, you see something very large, not as large as the big guy, quite furry. A creature emerge out of the ground as Red's roots push him upwards. Sheep, you see faces, trees, dirt, the sky, and a storm for the first time, yet somehow you know you've seen things like this before, you just don't remember where. And can I have the rest of you describe yourselves while I pull up a picture of what you see?
All right, let's go first.
You see a
Who remembers what they
tall,
look like?
lean, half-naked man stroll up. He is bare from the waist down. You see his pale, nearly translucent skin with these black veins kind of tracing through his skin. Above his waist, he's got a rusted breastplate. His arms, again, stretch out with their translucent skin, black veins running throughout. In one hand, heavy bone. In the other hand, a piece of paper. As you trace up his shoulders, you see this mane of dark hair coming out of this dark metal helm. There is no face, just shadows illuminated by glowing red eyes staring at you.
I also see a 3-foot dandelion with a rapier. Wade, you can go next.
Right, you see a fairy, a tiny fairy, pale, ghostly, translucent skin, wings full of holes. Looks almost like it's like I'd be blown away in the wind. Really nothing to me. Yep, female fairy.
Rest.
What you see before you is pretty much the Trix rabbit from the cereal box.
Just not on crack.
Yet.
But with some scraps of cloth from the camp that we found earlier, just kind of cover himself, but look slightly. I guess he would create something that looks like a hood over him right now. But
I'm in the middle of a
he's
report.
obviously a rabbit. There's the fuzzy cottontail.
Yeah,
There's the long
I told him I was
ears.
gonna be in this at 7.
All right. And Wookie, describe yourself.
You see a hunched over enormously matted furborg
You're a bugbear.
or bugbear. That's right, bugbear. My bad.
Yep.
Extremely long limbs, and abnormally sharp claws. White, snow white fur, and he has a sword, and he's wearing a tent as a clothing.
I'll show you a picture of the sword he has. It's got a rose hilt. Kind of looks like it's made out of vines and leaves and some weird type of crystal as a blade. What all of you see is indeed a furbolg. Not that you know what one is. Towering at nearly 8 feet, the creature emerging from the ground moves with the quiet grace of an ancient tree swaying in the wind. Your blue-gray skin bears intricate natural markings like veins of silver threading through stone. Your long, unkempt hair, the color of the deep earth, drapes over broad shoulders, mingling with moss and tiny blossoms that seem to grow upon you naturally. Your amber eyes, luminous and serene, hold the wisdom of countless seasons, reflecting the turning of time itself. Bare feet press gently into the soil as you feel nature for the first time. You have a very deep voice that carries the hum of the wild, a melody of rustling leaves and distant thunder. Whether you are reborn from the forest's embrace or something even older, you are a guardian without need for blade or armor. Your very existence speaks of the eternal cycle of life, death, and renewal. Speaking of thunder, the thunder that you all hear in the distance now starts to rain. So, Sheep, that's what you see in front of you as you emerge, and that's what you guys see as he emerges. He's
Come
almost
up with
as
a
big
grumpy
as the big
face.
guy.
So I come up with a grumpy face after being disturbed from sleep, see what I see, turn around, start screaming about put me back, put me back.
Oh,
Not
sorry
that I
there.
seem to.
I'm not allowed to, do that. But welcome to Yon. It's an okay place from what I hear. The
I
little...
reluctantly stand up.
Sorry, I didn't hear you there. The little 3-foot dandelion kind of looks you over and goes, "Oh, another furry one. Wow. Okay. Oh. I've seen a few of your kind here before. Actually, now looking at all of you, I've seen a lot of your kind here before, just not up here. Strange. It's been a while. Sorry. It's been busy here. Anyway, right. Well, I'm Amador. These guys you all just recently woke up. A bunch of weird things have been happening around here. Well, I'm headed to a place called Tither. Yeah, this is weird, and it's raining. Well, you guys said you'd help me find Pollinella.
Did we?
Not
Honestly,
this one.
these last few moments have been wild.
So,
I feel like we've been standing for 4 weeks straight.
sorry. Can I have perception rolls, please? This is a straight roll just because he's right in front of you. That's a lot of fairly good rolls.
Did you want me to do one as well?
Yep.
Alright, I just have to get rid of the baby.
Yeah, you're fine, bud. I can always roll for you. Doesn't matter.
No,
Okay.
you roll. Sorry.
Okay, you're good. Okay. You definitely tell that Amador is a little on edge, even though it's kind of hard to tell because he doesn't really have a face. But he's a little antsy. Something weird's going on, and well, you five are, well, he doesn't really know exactly what's going on either. So none of you guys. He's looking at sheep. Do you have any memories of your previous life? Because these guys said they didn't either.
I just woke up from a nap.
Yes, but do you remember how you got there, or how long you've been there, or anything prior to that?
Yes, I buried myself in dirt so I wouldn't see people. No, I have no clue what's up.
Oh,
I get disturbed from my peaceful nap to see all this stuff.
okay. So, well, I actually bury myself in dirt so I don't see stuff. So I wasn't sure. Um,
How spastic are you?
well, I'm a plant.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Wow. Sorry, guys. Hmm. So, what did you guys find out when you're in the mine? Do you mind if I ask? There was a bunch of weird things happening, and I heard some weird things about the mine. So we were told to stay away. That it was being dealt with. Did you guys deal? Do you know if you dealt with what was in there? Maybe that's what happened.
Well, I think whatever the problem is, I think is dead.
I hold up the.
But I don't know if we did it.
What do you hold up, Belf?
The bone club.
I don't know what that is. Seems big.
Wasn't it like one of the fingers or something like that?
I think that was what Brandon said in his
Yeah.
recap.
Yeah,
Recall.
you grabbed like one of the fingers of the Jabberwock. Right. Well, it's bone. I've never seen really anything that big before. Well, I can tell you a few things. I don't know a lot. Well, like I said, I'm headed to Tither. Tither's, well, he's gonna like kind of look over, and go way over that one. We're currently in Yon. We got to go from Yon all the way through hither and into Tither. Do you guys don't remember?
Tell me there's a
anything about where
dir.
you are? Weird. Okay. Well, I'd be happy to be your guide for you. I've been told that the only current way out of Prismia right now, until Zabilina returns, is in Tither. Does that ring any bell? Any names or places?
What is the who has the note stuff? I think that was Belvedere.
I think Frost has the journal.
Oh, Frost. Okay.
Yeah, I don't even think I was there when it was being read.
Are you going to hand Amador the journal entry or the note?
Essentially, I looked at it first, but I did hand it off to people, so.
I would assume they probably give it back to you, or someone
Oh.
has it.
No, then story-wise, here. It's
Okay.
like, here, take it.
So whoever wants to have them, you can let me know. I just want to know if you're going to show them to Amador or not, or your newfound furry friend.
I think we decided we were going to try to find whoever the person in charge was for that.
Okay. I'll show the notes again. All right. So I assume you're going to hand them to good old Amador to read. He's going to
Yes.
kind of look through them. He's going to go, Jabberwock. Oh, that makes more sense. They're okay. I remember hearing about something like that. I don't know which one of the coven brought it, but I think one of them did. Oh, you got through the okay, yeah. You went through okay. So they're from the okay. I know okay. I understand some of this now. Strongheart. I don't know that name. Um oh, maybe he's part of the Valor's Call. We did have a weird like bounty hunter group here. Um a while back they were hunting something. Maybe they were hunting the Jabberwock, so maybe your bodies were part of that group. I know who I can talk to. If we can get there, they're in hither. Maybe they'll have some more answers for you. If the carnival's still up and running, they had a few of the people there with the Valor's Call, so maybe that'll work. But
What's a carnival?
Oh, you don't know what a carnival is?
No.
He's gonna like go through a couple, pretend to go through pockets and go, I don't have my bag here. Darn it. Well, it's a place of fun and entertaining and excitement. They have games, they have things to do. A couple people do like fortune telling. There's a lot of like fun stuff. Pretty much any type of fun you can think of, Carnival's got it. It is actually Amador's gonna like bring his like big dandelion head up towards Belv and go, well, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, they kind of look like you. They're the owners of the Witchlight Carnival. That's why it's called the Witchlight, because it's from Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. They're both Shatter Kai, and you kind of look like them.
I'm Callan.
Okay. Well, hi, Talon. Let me write your name down.
I don't know. I think I got it from like the Dream Crystal or something.
Yeah.
Just
I can't
assume
remember if yours was from your past or your present body.
it definitely was not.
Sorry, not from the past?
No, I don't think it's my name. I just assume it's my name because that's what I heard or saw or something in the mirror.
Okay. I'll have to listen to that because I can't remember offhand. Oh, well, Talon. Does any of the rest of you remember your names? Just so I don't just like
Nope.
look at you.
Nothing here.
But you have a name? I want a name.
As the rabbit kind of mouths the word Quickfoot.
Quickfoot. Okay. That doesn't ring a bell, sorry. You could always give yourself names.
Well, I like that. I'm gonna start poking around the ground for ideas.
Fairy names are a little weird. I know one called Fluttershy. She's not that shy though. She's quite horny. Especially when she's angry. And she's always angry. Yeah.
Well then.
Figure it out. You can come up with anything. You kind of look like you're nice and shaggy. Could call you Shaggy.
Guess I could work.
Shaggy.
So the guy
Who's
who's
Scooby?
in life known as Wookiee looks shaggy
I didn't want to say what.
and is a bugbear.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Like, wow.
Now I just need a Great Dane.
Come on. Amador's got, I think, like an 11 intelligence, guys.
Better than us.
Outclassing us.
True. I think the awakened tree has to have at least a 10 intelligence to be awakened.
Yeah, they're already better than us.
I don't know how we're breathing. Oh wait, we aren't.
Yeah, for me personally, it's like if you've realized already that you don't need to breathe. Even our new found guy who just came out of the ground, you would realize that with a mouthful of sand and dirt and whatever else was in there, maybe the odd worm, you didn't need to breathe, and yet you didn't die. Quite weird.
I cast manual breathing.
Yeah. Yeah. The dandelions, Amador's just gonna look at your sheep and go, did you want to come up with a name or do you want to workshop it? I know you just kind of, came out of the ground and, well, it's now raining and this is all new to you, but did you want to call yourself something until you get your memory back?
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Okay,
Let
good.
me try theories before I think of name.
Yeah. Maybe try and take a few steps to get your balance. I've ran into a couple people that this happened to a while back, and they had troubles walking. So if you'd like to take a few steps, I need dexterity saves at disadvantage to see if you fall over.
I remember how I fell over multiple times.
You did. Okay.
Oh wow. 2-4.
You take your first couple steps and then right on the ground and take 1 point of damage as your head hits a rock.
At least he's consistent.
Yep. Oh yeah, like I said, take it nice and slow, there, bud. Here, just rub it. You're not bleeding too bad. It'll heal.
Rub some dirt in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
By the way,
That's going to leave a mark.
yeah, you have. I think I said 9 AC and 6 hit points.
I have 5.
Yep.
Written down.
So yeah, be careful, bud. But yeah, you have a whole bunch of things growing on you. That's pretty neat. Anyway, like I said before, we could keep moving, but I'd want you to get your footing back. I'll tell you a little bit about this place because, well, I'm not really too sure what's going on. You've kind of arrived in a small moment of peace here on Yon. Some of us that are here are still trying to figure things out, but my first concern is finding the love of my life, Pollinella. She's kind of gone missing. Yeah. Oh, ooh. I need to tell you guys about the rules of conduct here on Prismere. You kind of have to follow them, or something usually happens to you. But now I don't know. Anyway, well, the first rule. Pardon?
What's the worst thing than being dead?
Dying again, I guess? Or,
Fair?
well, some of the coven around here like to do weird things. One of them might turn you into a doll and use you as a pincushion. One likes to turn people into, well, creatures like me and make them do their work for them. One will just really just cut your head off, put it back on, then cut your head off and put it back on, and cut your head off, put it back on, stuff like that. So, yeah. But anyway, the rule of hospitality. When a friend or enemy or stranger enters your home, you are expected to be gracious and accommodating to them until such time they prove, by their words or actions, undeserving of such hospitality. It's a big one around here. The rule of... Brandon has a hard time with this word. I'm going to type it out so somebody can tell it to you. Reciprocity?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's a word I don't say that. Yeah, I don't say that word that often. Rule of reciprocity. When a friend or enemy or stranger offers you a gift, you are obliged to accept it and offer something comparable value, be it a gift or service in return. It doesn't have to happen immediately, though. So very courteous here. And the one that's a little iffy right now, because of things, is the rule of ownership. You must not steal from a friend, enemy, or stranger. To take something that doesn't belong to you without the rightful owner's permission is a crime and an unforgivable breach of etiquette. But something weird's happened here, and people have been stealing stuff left, right, and center, and not getting in trouble for it. So, yeah, I don't really know what... Anyway. I'll catch you up. Let's start moving. I don't want to stick here too long. I want to. There's a few places we can come to in the woods here. I'm hoping there's other people here, but well, like I said, a bunch of weird things have been happening here. Do you guys want to start heading deeper into the forest?
Might as well.
Okay, good. Well, along your path, you are actually going to find a nice path. Looks well worn, quite wide, like 10 across wide. It's a big place in here. You kind of have the sense that it's almost bigger when you start moving. When you stop, the whole place doesn't look that big until you start moving. Then it kind of seems to just grow. Amador's going to tell you a little bit about Jan. And, well, a few things. Well, Jan is kind of ruled by this weird lady. Her name is Endelyn Moongrave. She's also known as Bitter End, Creeping Lynn, the Dame of Unhappy Endings. She usually keeps to herself unless you need something from her, but I've never met her. I'm a weed slayer by trade. I was employed by one of Zabilna's gardeners. She created this place. She owns this place. I was just a little dandelion minding my own business when something woke me up, and I was placed in the hands of her gardener and told to kill weeds, which is where I got my sortie from. Now, though, I'm really not too sure what I am. Most of the weeds were killed in a recent uprising, I'm told, and I can't find my boss anywhere. So he's either still hiding, dead, or he's left this place. I hid the love of my life, Paulinella, in her hive during it, and after things settled, I went out to scout around, and when I came back, something had stolen her hive, and I assumed her with it. But as I ran and ran, I walked right through a stupid Faygate, and I was sent here. And then the Faygate kind of, went away, and you can't go back. And then I ran into you all, so that's really all I know what's going on. Anyway, I think our best thing to do is head to the Lockberry Henge and talk to any of the Accords there, if they're still alive. I'm sure they can help get us to hither. If the carnival is still up and running, we can hitch a ride with them too. I don't know. I'm not really too sure what's going on. I just know there was a big battle and most people hid or are now dead. So I don't know who's in charge. I haven't seen anybody, really.
Good to know.
So you're kind of caught up.
And how long did that all take?
Well, the battle itself was 2 or 3 days. And I've been wandering around out here for, about a month. So yeah, about a month ago. Up until then, this place was great. But since then, I have been searching everywhere. I did this entire forest, and then I came into the mine and found you guys. I'm okay with backtracking, but because I didn't really get through all of the forest here. But there were a few weeds I still had to kill, but that's the job. And you'll notice, he's scanning left, right, and center for weeds with his rapier out as you guys are walking. Give me quick perception rolls, just standard rolls as you guys walk through the forest here.
Looking better. Looking better.
Yeah, you're getting there.
Mine's a 4.
Maybe it's your helmet. Okay. Well, a couple of you, for oddly enough, probably because you're the 2 tallest, you can tell that this place is the lightning above you and the rain that's starting to come in. This place is quite scorched. A lot of the trees are fallen, smashed. This place looks like it also endured some sort of destruction. Um, Even full trees have been uprooted and thrown. Something big came through here. Whether or not it was the Jabberwock that you guys found came through here, maybe. This has a completely different feel than the abandoned camp that you guys found. That was kind of hauled up. This is, I don't know, weird. And even your 16, your 2 high rolls there, the perception rolls, you definitely find tracks and like depressions in the dirt, and a lot of the tracks are round but like 10 feet wide.
Almost like an elephant foot round, or
Oh, much bigger.
well, I mean like shape wise.
More of like a big wagon, but a big wagon.
Alrighty.
And like most of them like look like they've driven or well gone over top of trees and just plowed right through them. There's even like trees on top of the tree, like on top of the canopy. Looks like thrown completely right up.
Looks like a tornado went through here.
Almost, yeah. But yeah. So, what are you guys all thinking about as you are in your first forest and now getting wet?
I'm wet.
We'll start with Frost. What's on your mind as you go through whatever just happened?
Still the thoughts of these people are weird.
Yep.
I'm hungry. And I'm wet.
Yep.
And I think my character just feels sad.
Okay. Wookie. Or I should say Shaggy.
I'm wet now.
Yeah.
I guess
Starting
it's
to
better
smell.
than, well, probably better than some other smells that I've encountered.
Mhm.
It's a different scenery.
Yep.
More color.
Oh, yeah.
Still confused about the talking dandelion,
Yeah.
who is anatomically a weed.
Sheep. What's going through your character's mind as you start following this odd assortment of people who you've just realized woke up just about a day before you did?
This is a weird world to be in.
Yes, it is. Wade, what's going through your? Well, you're quite tiny, and well, what's going on?
They're probably just sort of mumbling to themselves,
Mm-hmm.
complaining it's cold, wet. And they don't remember rain hurting this much. Because I don't know a droplet's near the size of their arm
Mm-hmm.
or finger. Probably trying to hide in whatever rags they were able to get from the campsite.
Yeah. And Belv.
Just remembering everything they see. They're like things that they forgot, just taking it all in, and then every once in a while seeing or hearing something that they don't recognize or recall, and wondering if they knew what that was or if that's something brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Probably subconsciously kind of mimicking the sword movements of the dandelion as well.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, can I have everyone roll me a lovely wisdom save at disadvantage?
No.
10.
One.
Nat 1, so it was 0.
I'm not the worst.
No, you're not. Oddly enough, weirdly enough, none of this looks or. Yeah, there's nothing here that is familiar. This is, as far as you know, the very first time this is all happening. There's nothing, you need at least a little bit higher to get something. But yeah, no, this is new, brand new. And being wet sucks. This is cold. You are on top of a mountain in a forest that is now getting drenched. So you are all slowly starting to not freeze to death yet, but the humidity of the forest is pretty much gone and it is just now dark, dank, wet. About a half an hour into your journey, you guys come across a little village. And you see Amador kind of like stop you all, put up one of his little vines with a leaf on it, grabs a rapier out and goes, oh, good, we found somewhere. Oh, this is, I don't know this place. Yeah, nope, never been here. Neat. Wonder what's going on here. Can I have perception rolls, please? At disadvantage.
That's another one.
Love it. Okay. Yeah, you basically just notice. You don't see anybody, you don't hear anybody. But you do see at least the big guys and anything really the 10 would work. So sheep you kind of see something.
It's a
sorry, you got the 1.
disadvantage, isn't it?
Right,
So it'd be
yeah.
the net one.
It would be the net 1. Yeah, none of you actually see anything. Cool. Or at least Amador's passive catches a few things. You see him stop and like look at you all and go, "Oh, guys, this place looks deserted and destroyed. I think we should go in with caution. This looks like it's a Briganok little village. I haven't seen any of them yet. They should have been in the mine with you guys, but there's usually quite a few of them scattered here and about. I think this is one of their villages, so maybe we should go in carefully." And the big guys, you two, would notice that most of these places are quite small. Some of the houses are maybe only 9 feet tall, maybe 10. Raid, it looks like you're the only one who might be able to fit in some of these houses. It's a quite tiny little place.
I better start the process of climbing down then.
Yes. So to put perspective, the house in the middle, Shaggy, you can look through the window here.
All right.
Yep.
I'll look through the window.
It's a tiny little place.
Climb off onto the balcony then.
Yeah. So Amador pretty much just looks around. You're gonna notice, like, yeah, this place has been scattered remains, but over time you guys would realize that this was indeed the sign of a battle site, and there are scattered remains here and there. Most things are down to bone by now. A few little bits of tattered remains of like flesh and clothing left, but it does look like something came in here and tore these poor little creatures apart.
That's a damn shame.
There's nothing left moving. There are
look
the
like
odd, pardon, sorry?
They look like us, but only smaller.
Yes. Yeah, most of these creatures look like they'd be 2 feet tall, maybe in between 2 and 3 feet. Mostly 2 feet. They're quite tiny. So,
Anadol, those rules of etiquette you were saying, do they still count if the other person is dead? Not by our hand.
if they have family, yes. Or if their property is deemed, not needed by anyone, then usually it is either scattered around the village. It all depends on where you live, but um, I think it would be okay. But like I said before, things are weird around here. And, well, I've come across a few things that I've picked up, but nothing's happened to me. So I
I'll
think
take
we're
that as it's
okay.
okay.
Can I have investigation rules, please?
I'm
I
going
would
in looking for clothes that actually will fit me.
Okay. I will take. You guys, I would assume, are going to take some time in here. So you
Yeah.
can all roll with advantage because I assume you're going to help.
That is an 8 and another 8. So, yeah, advantage.
Okay. Well, at least there's not a lot of high DCs here. I'll roll for Amador. Good thing we had advantage.
Can't find the thing for advantage, so I'll roll disadvantage instead. Advantage gives me a nat 20.
Ah, beautiful. Well, at least one person found all the stuff. Probably because you're, well, the smallest. I think you're even smaller than Amador, but just by a little. You find, I will eventually give you the list. There is clothing here that will fit you. Most of it is like, you're not going to find like cotton or anything. Most of this is like hemp or just straight vines and leaves, but there is something that will cover you and get you warm. You do find outside and inside, there's quite a few things here that you can grab. No money. You find hidden in a like small little closet one dead Briganock. Looks to be kind of hard to tell because you've never seen them actually before. You would see some like pictures on the walls. Clutched in the hand of one of the dead ones is some sort of horn. You find a creepy doll that looks very lifelike. Bits of clothing, small bits of mining gear, shoes, etc. You find this clutched in one hand. I will put it in roll 20. An admit 1 ticket to the Witchlight Carnival. You have find a pendant that shows the phases of the moon. A very large rotten tooth with a glyph that has something etched onto it. Did anyone choose Elvish as one of your languages that you knew? Oh, and sheep, you were allowed to choose common and one other language that you would like to know or remember.
The rabbit nose Elvish.
The rabbit nose Elvish. It has the glyph for moon etched onto it in Elvish. You also find a tiny clockwork dragonfly that slowly beats its wings. Can't fly, but it is like wound up and it'll move. It is quite tiny and quite intricate. You find a sprite skull covered in ink fingerprints. A 1-inch square painting of a sleeping elf. A pixie plushie that sings when you squeeze it. A tiny hourglass without sand. A tinted glass monocle that makes things look green. A wooden pan flute that looks like you can play it. And a 100-sided dice the size of a plum cut from coal. I will take nature rolls to see if you can figure out what the type of horn is that is clutched in the dead person's hand.
Advantage, disadvantage?
Instrument horn
This
or
is-
like animal horn?
It's some sort of animal horn. I'm gonna let Amador roll because he will know what it is.
Can you post that list somewhere?
Yes, I will.
Yes, I will.
But I don't want to post all of it
I will-
because it'll tell you what type of horn it is.
Take the pan
do this.
flute and attempt to play it.
Ooh.
Not worried about the animal horn.
Okay. I will put it in our big Discord channel here, way down here. The pan flute plays very well. Comes out nice, and as soon as you start playing it, you have a flying squirrel attach itself to your shoulder and starts bobbing along with it.
That's a neat little trick.
I'm gonna delete some of this until you guys know exactly what it does.
Remembered when we were in the cave of crystals that
Mhm.
I'm a musician, and I'll attempt to play it again.
As soon as you play it, another animal comes to you and sits to listen.
I'm gonna start clapping along to it.
It seems that whenever you play it, it attracts harmless local fauna when it's played. And even if you awakened, what's the word Brandon's looking for? Like shrubs start to come and listen, and you see Amador kind of look around and go, "No, stop, nope, not, slow, quieter. I don't want any of the, things I'm supposed to kill come here, because you guys don't look like you can defend yourselves. And if we get any weeds that are really, really strong, that could be bad here."
If they are not moved by my playing, they will be moved by my beauty. You have nothing to fear while I'm near.
That's really creepy coming out of that mask. I've got to say, I like the attitude, but the vibe is weird.
And that's the beauty.
Right. Yeah, you don't find money, you don't find anything else. That is all you find in here. The
I'll
horn
look through
itself. Sorry, go.
I was gonna look through the monocle.
Okay. Pretty much anything that's not green is now green.
Sweet.
Yeah, literally. That's all it does. Yep. I'm gonna put a picture of where to go. The dread helm up here, so this is what you guys know that Belv is currently wearing. And all you can see is his eyes. The rest of his face is just shadow. The horn itself, as soon as you bring it out, Amador kind of clutches it and just you see him get a little sad. And he kind of goes, "Aw, that's a unicorn horn."
Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, means someone's either killed a unicorn or just took it from them. Unicorn, you guys don't know anything. He's just gonna go in the dirt and start drawing you guys a unicorn. It's like a four-legged creature. It's got a big horn on it. They're quite magical. They're very well. Most of them are nice. The angry ones are. Stay away from them.
Well, they sound fun.
For the most part, they're great conversationalists. They're quite good healers. They usually deal with themselves.
If we found one, do you think they could fix us?
Oh yeah, quite easy. That's what they're quite good at that. I haven't seen one in a while though, but they're usually in Tither. So if we make our way to Tither, we'll find something there.
So we stop at Hither first to talk to people, then we go to Tether with you
Yeah.
and find us a unicorn. Sounds good.
Well, yeah, and hopefully find our way out of this place. If you want to get out, I kind of like it here, but I'm told there's an exit. So whether or not you guys want to go through the exit, I don't know. I don't know who's in charge over there. anymore. So, I got a couple
I don't know
friends
where
over on
it
that
is.
side. That's okay. It's that way. We kind of have to go like up this way and over that way first before we can get to it. If we can stay away from the mother horn, though, that's the main thing. I don't want to get near Endolin. I don't know what she's doing. She causes the storm.
Nothing wrong with the storm.
Not until we get out of the forest. Once we get out of the forest, the storm gets bad. We have to run. We have to duck, dodge, dip, and dive a lot.
Ah,
Yeah, because it hurts. Being electrocuted is not fun. I've survived it once. I don't want to do it again.
That was a lot of please.
Oh. But
Well,
anyway.
should we put all this in a bag then and take it with us?
Oh,
do we have a
yeah.
bag?
I seen a cart over here. If the big guys want to pull it, it wasn't damaged. I don't know if it all fit in your bag.
Is there any chance we could honestly lift up one of these houses with how small they are?
Between the Firebog and the Bugbear, you're still only at an 8 strength, remember. So
Oh, yeah, that's
probably
right.
not. You're big, but you are not strong, sir.
Doesn't the
Yeah.
bugbear have a carrying thing by racial
He
feet?
does have a little bit, yeah. He can carry more than. Same with you. You are technically one size for the Firebog.
Large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you tried to pick one of these up, it would just disintegrate. There's not a lot of cohesion left in it. Wade doesn't weigh much. That's why it didn't fall apart when he went in. She went in. Yep. But it looks like something came in here. You find like the bodies of about 15 dead creatures in and around here.
Okay.
And like there's a couple other houses in and around here that have been like crushed by something completely. A couple of them just have trees completely on it. There'd be like at least another 5 or 6 houses in and around here. But there is one path, and you do see a sign that says the Root and Riddle Inn. That way.
Sounds like a promising direction.
Is there anything edible for Quickfoot since he is technically breathing now?
There'd definitely be some sort of remains of food. Most of it's going to be raw veg. But it's like more finger food for you right now because it's a little smaller. But yes.
Well, something's better than nothing, so he's gonna
Mhm.
do a quick scavenge of
Yep.
something edible that doesn't have rot.
It's going to be like small jars of honey, some mushrooms, a bunch of different type of fungus, probably carrots. Nothing too major up here because you are on top of a mountain.
Whatever he could,
Yep.
grab quickly and just take, and
Yep.
something's better than nothing.
Yeah, and there would also be little spots of like places where that gather water, so you could get like a little bit of like carrying shit. Enough to do
Like-
you at least a couple days, sir.
So good water. So essentially, a fairly decent thing of like a water skin and like 2 days of rations.
There'd be at least 3 days of rations. The honey itself, I don't think you're going to go through a lot of it. Most of the food here is not dried, but getting to the point where it's got to be eaten in a couple days. As this looks like it happened about a month ago, but most fungus can last a while. Amador, you'd notice, is like eyeing the honey jars and just kind of like, oh, that's probably from her hive. We need to find her. And, well, find who took her and took her hive and kill it. Yeah. We need to kill that. Anyway. Let's keep moving. Alright.
Right. To hither.
Well, yeah, we're getting there. It's a long journey. But if we can
We'll
make
be
it,
walking.
yeah, if we can make it at least to the hedge tonight, I'd be happy. If they're still there and can open the way gate, the Fey gate. Let's hope. Anyway, so this is Craggle Pan Village. I heard about it, but I've never been here. I wish I found this place sooner, but oh well.
Is it on the map?
No, this is just in the forest, and Brandon created it.
Yeah, so he'll like see if he can stick like a mud
I'll-
mark somewhere near
I'll put you over on Yon on your map.
where he thinks it is on the
Cool.
map.
You are technically here now. Why is there so many partying? You're about there now. So you've gone from the mine.
Where
into
is
here.
hither for our...
You don't
You
know
don't know
yet.
yet.
Well,
Well,
technically,
technically
it's way over to the east. He's pointed you in that direction, but you don't have a map to that direction yet.
So that's what each time he's saying, you have to go around, use the phone to... Right,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, right now you're heading up to Lockberry Henge. Up here.
Somewhere
That's where you're
there's
headed.
a little mud mark in that forest area. And if nobody else had taken it or it didn't end up in a bag, as we're walking now, Callum will just be smelling the charcoal dice.
Nice.
Maybe that's what he tried to write with too. I don't know.
Sounds good.
How big is the clockwork dragonfly?
In your hand, it's about half the size of your hand. It's quite tiny, quite intricate.
I keep touching its wings in sort of jealousy.
Yes, I can believe that. Uh-huh. Right. About another half an hour along your journey. It's just one path. It starts to get quite narrow and narrow and narrow. Almost as if whatever came through here created or moved the path bigger. And now you're pretty much like single file, and the big guys are having a hard time dodging tree branches because this is now meant for things that are 3 to 4 foot tall. So you're almost not at half movement, but you're pretty much walking with your hands out, moving tree branches as you go. You're not getting covered in, you like...
How upset would Snickersnack be if I started using him to trim the branches?
Well, he's just happy to be used.
Poor soul.
And, yeah, I think he would just be more happy that he's being useful and that you're learning. That's the important part. You're learning to use him even though it's not for what he's meant for. He wants to kill other things.
So he's
Killing
a tool.
Yes. Yeah. Shaggy is the tool for the sword, definitely. Yep. You're learning. He's just happy you haven't dropped him. Eventually along the way, you guys come across more signs towards the Root and Riddle Inn. And in the distance, you finally see the Root and Riddle Inn. At first glance, this place looks like it is destroyed, but as you get closer and closer and closer, you realize it's just old. It's run down. But you do start to hear movement on the inside. And
Hello?
most of the noise is like tiny, a little bit of like hammering, and they're talking in a language you don't know. Amador just puts his sword away and goes, "Oh, I think we found some Briganux. Good. Maybe they can tell us what's going on around here." They are, well, maybe some of them knew you guys before you went in. I don't know. I'm just gonna this place is a little bit bigger. Like, yeah, it'd be a struggle to get you two in the building, but you probably could sit outside. I think the rest of you would be able to get in, but our big two shaggies probably would have a hard time getting through the door. And as soon as like you guys are heard outside, because a couple of you guys are pretty big, you see 5 or 6 tiny little. Well, you're not too sure what they are. I will show you what they look like. They're kind of a mix between like a goblin, a rat, something weird. They're tiny. They all run out with like mining hats and picks. A couple of them have like, some of them have shoes, some of them have clothing. One of them looks to have like a actual weapon, like a little. It'd be like a dagger for you, but like a great sword for them. And one of them just comes running out and goes, "Who are you? Who? Hey, what are you?"
The flute. I offer you all a gift and start to play.
Like, that was made, but that's bringing a fruit. Where'd you get that? That doesn't belong to you. That doesn't fit your fingers. Who are you all?
We honestly don't know who we are.
I
We
would like to look at them
just
with the
woke
giant
up.
helm and say, "Why are you interrupting me?"
Backs him on the flat of the sword.
What's going on here? Who are
Uh,
you all?
we just came from a desolated town not that long ago. We found most of the stuff there. If it belongs to you, we'll gladly give it back.
Oh, you're a big guy.
Right?
You're big. One of them, a tiny little. She's about, well, hard to tell age, but definitely female. Comes right up to Belv playing the flute and goes, "Oh, that I've heard about that one before. I think my aunt had something like that. You don't play it right though. Can I show you?"
He will slowly lower the flute, reluctantly, pass it on.
Thanks. I'm Twilix Rumblemote. Yeah, that's my grandma's marking on there. My aunts used to play it. Can't remember who made it, but here. And she's gonna start playing it. And you're gonna see probably, unlike you when you played, a couple animals came. You're getting about a couple hundred fall out of the trees and come through the forest. Even like tiny little rabbits that are kind of look at Frost and go like in awe, going, "You're one of us, and you're big," but they can't speak. None of these, they're just animals. But a couple hundred just start to come over and sit and listen. While this is happening, Amador kind of goes up to the one that was asking you all questions and goes, "Oh, Mayor, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're alive." And the little Ragnarok kind of looks around and goes, "Oh, Amador, you're here. Why are you here? You shouldn't be here." Anyway, Amador's just going to look at you all and go, "This is, Mayor Nixel Cracklepan. Cracklepan Village, the one we were just at, he's the mayor of that."
Oh.
Yeah, the mayor's just going to look at you all and go, Oh, you guys went through Cracklepan, did you? Oh, yeah. We're the last survivors. We've been renovating the inn here just so we have a place to stay. Wow, you all look familiar. But you don't. For some reason, I feel like I know most of you, but I don't. What's going on?
We don't know.
That doesn't sound right. Amador, come on in. Sorry, come on in. I got some, well, food's been a little scarce here, but, we got some soup. And one of them smacks, the mayor in the back and goes, it's stew, it's not soup.
Same
It's
thing.
too watery, it's soup. Young ones. Anyway, sorry. This is Zibbletrick, Flint Whistle, Glint Gembuckle. This is Fizzwit, Dewspark, and the small one's Twilix Rumbleboat. I will copy and paste them for you, because coming up with Brigadoc names is not fun.
You saying them all at once was kind of scary.
I have practiced. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Come on in, guys. Where are you guys headed? Amador's just gonna look at them and kind of look at you guys and go, I don't think you like it, Mayor. The Mayor's just gonna look and go, you're not gonna trust the stupid cords, are you? They're in league with her. You can't trust anything they say. Amador just puts up one of his leaves and goes, the cords, they have a fey gate there. We need to get to Tither. The Braganooks just kind of went, cords are not to be trusted. You know this. We're at war with them. We have been for a while. And you're just going to see Amador just kind of like give you guys a like little nod towards the stew and just say, I'm to the back. I'll fill you in. These guys have been through a lot lately. We need to talk. And have you seen Pollinella? And they just like go off into a little corner. Belv, she plays for 20 minutes, if you let her, before she hands it back.
There and just listen the entire time, even if the rest of the group's left.
Okay. She's pretty much like making sure you're paying attention to what she's doing.
Yeah, at this point, the helm's probably come off, so you can see a little clearer.
Okay.
Watch my fingers.
Yeah. You're going to see like her play like 3 or 4 notes, and then 3 or 4 notes again, the same note over and over and over to make sure you're paying attention. And then she plays a little, it's like a quick little like 30-second song that she's trying to teach you. And as she's playing, all the animals are pretty much like line dancing. It's a weird place.
He'll eventually, after she stops, describe the instrument he thinks he saw himself holding in the mirror.
Okay.
And that's what I usually play. I'm just learning this one.
Oh, well, it's not really my favorite instrument, so feel free to keep it. I prefer this thing. She's going to pull out like a little bird flute and start playing along. The rest of you, the inside of this inn looks like they're still in the middle of renovations. It looks like at one point it was collapsed, so it's heavily braced and heavily leaking. But it is serviceable. Looks like it'll fit maybe 20 Briganooks in here. You guys take up like a couple chairs instead of one chair. There is no room for the big guys, so you guys are pretty much staying outside getting wet, but they are bringing you food even though you don't. Sheep, this is probably the first time you don't feel hungry. But would you accept it?
Going from what the dandelion said, it's a gift. I have to accept it, isn't it?
Kind of, yes.
Then I accept it.
Perfect. Does everyone accept the stew? Soup.
Yeah, going off the rules.
Stew.
Soup of stew.
Yeah.
Well, Quickfoot does because he's starving.
Sure is. Yeah. Perfect. This is
I'm
like,
going to take a sec trying to work out if it's not breaking the rules to ask for a smaller portion.
you're about their size, but yeah.
Yeah, but they don't feel hungry,
No.
and you get the feeling that it would be rude if I don't need to eat. Why take their food?
You also have a massive hole through your stomach.
Do we all see this?
I got clothes on at this point, but you would have seen.
Oh, that's right.
the
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah, when she woke up naked, I'm getting a lot of feedback from you, Wade, just as a reminder. Yeah, when she woke up, she had, like, her wings, she had a hole through her stomach still. But you have clothes on now, so nobody else notices it anymore. But yeah, they pretty much, like, hand you, like, a cup size with some stew in it. Tastes good. It's more bland than anything. Because these guys look like they almost live off rocks, because they probably could.
As Quick finishes his bowl, he's just going to turn to one of his compatriots like, "You're going to eat that." And whoever hands him their bowl, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah,
hand them mine and be like, I prefer dirt.
That's good. And some nice mud pies. Mm-hmm. At some point, probably about a half an hour later, you have the mayor and Amador finally come back, and the mayor just looks around at you all and goes, "That's quite a story. You guys have been through a lot. No memory? Really? You don't remember any of this? Valor's Call doesn't come to mind?
Nope.
Weird. Like, none of our kind have, as Amador said, arisen again." Well,
Confused as you are.
like I told Amador, the Cords are not to be trusted. We've been at war with them for a long time here in Prismere, and we're pretty sure they're in league with Endolin. We created them. They have to be in league with her. I don't trust them. Yeah, they can get you guys to where you're going, but I don't know their price or they're strange folk. The only thing we have common is we like rocks and gems. We don't trade with them. We don't go anywhere. They're just, they're weird. They dance a lot.
What's wrong with that?
Just look over the line dancing squirrels.
Some of us prefer other types of entertainment. More like, well, we're good at creating stuff out of gems and mining and gem crafting, and we make like little intricate little stuff. We're more artisans than entertainers. And little Twilix at some point comes and goes, "I'm an entertainer. I'm the black sheep of the family."
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Well, we'll give you some stew to take with you. I don't really think the mayor's gonna look around. I don't really think we need anything from you guys. Yeah, like Amador told you, some weird things are going on here, so we're just kind of, well, we're waiting for a friend to give us word that we're allowed to go back in the mine. I haven't heard from him in a while, so I'm kind of hoping that Strongheart will come and find us.
Right, I was going to ask who it was who was.
Yeah.
The was empty, but there's tons of crystals just inside.
Well, you guys went. You didn't go through the Dream Crystal area, did you? That place is weird. We don't mind them.
I think I grabbed one. I probably have one out.
Oh, no. Tho- Those contain the dreams of everyone who's died in Prismere. Those are not good to keep. The longer you hold on to them, the less you become you and more become them.
Huh.
It can turn bad. I've seen it before. Every time someone dies, a crystal's born. So I'm wondering if you guys were reborn, maybe more crystals died. I don't know how this is working. All I know is if you keep it with you, you less become you and become whoever was in their crystal.
How many of us have a crystal?
I don't know. You tell me. I can't remember.
I think I'm the only one that
Some of
actually
you
pried
touched
one out of
them.
the.
Yeah, some of you touched them. I think you all touched them, except
Yeah.
for our new guy who has no idea what you guys are talking about.
Want to see one?
Well, that's up to him. In front of you, Sheep, you see a glowing crystal. I will show you what it looks like in Roll20. It's not very big. It'd be about half the size of your palm, but it is blue, and it kind of looks like it has some sort of weird, glowy, crystally light inside of it. And the little guys are telling you not to touch it.
So you tell me if I hold this for long enough, I'm going to remember stuff.
You remember stuff, yes, but whether or not it's your memory or the memory of someone who's inside of that,
But
it's a little weird. It's
is some memory better than no memory?
well, I guess that's on you, but
I
that
hug
has
it.
the beautiful. This is. Give me 1 second here. I need to bring up last session's notes. This is a dream crystal of Yon, wrought from the memory of forgotten stars and shaped by nightmares of slumbering fae. This crystal pulses with dreamlight, unreal, untethered, and dangerous. When a reborn touches the dream crystal, they do not simply dream, they remember. The moment your fingers brush the cool crystal, your senses blur, like being submerged in still water under moonlight. You hear lullabies and reversed voices, smell lavender turn to ash. And then a memory that doesn't belong to you floods into your mind like a lightning across a dream. Can you roll me a d6, please?
Two.
A 2. Oh, okay. We've had this one before, at least. You awaken from a vision, and you are screaming in an ancient tongue. First, though, would you like a memory of who you were, or a memory of who you currently, your body that you're currently in?
I'm going to go with were.
Okay. Have you wrote any of your player's backstory yet?
All of it.
Beautiful. I want a quick, brief memory of who you were, sir. Nothing major, just something like
Country farm boy.
okay.
How much do you want me to go into?
Give me like 2 minutes worth. Just
Um,
like a memory that your player would remember. Maybe something similar to where you currently are. Something similar.
Me and my best mate used to go out into the river, which was about a half-hour walk into the forest at the back of the village, and go jumping off the waterfall and into the pond. We used to swim for days and go back. Wasn't till later on that his sister became appealing, and we used to do it a lot less frequently, and I did it more with her. They're not for jump more in depth. I just
Give me
tried
a
to
little
think
bit
of
more.
forest.
No, a little bit more.
She was the chieftain's daughter,
Okay.
as he was the chieftain's son. He was next in line, but a goofball. So she was to be running the village next,
Okay.
according to how that family was going to work.
Nice. All right. Can you roll me a d4 now, please? We actually haven't had this one before.
1.
A 1. Okay. Or I can't. We might have. I can't remember. All right. Let me look here. Ah, this works. As you awaken, you start speaking in a language you do not remember. The rest of you have never heard this language before. And on your forehead, a tiny little rune appears. For the next day, next 24 hours, anytime you try to have a long rest or short rest, you dream, but they are not your own dreams. They are dreams of your past. You also gain the guidance cantrip.
Mm.
So write down somewhere, because you don't have a character sheet yet, that you can now cast guidance, sir. And then you awaken, and the crystal that you are holding fades and dies.
Now, do I remember my name from then?
No, not yet.
Okay.
You guys would have seen him, because you all touched at the same time the last time. You all seen, like, he didn't fall asleep, but he went still, his eyes rolled back into his head, and he just, like, seemed nice and calm. See? Weird things happen, guys. Like I said, now the crystal's out. This is why we leave them where they are. Memories should be just memories.
Did I hug it too tight?
No, you drained it.
But I got one of my memories back, I think.
Oh yeah? Well, that's... But, like, the body you're in or the body you were?
I didn't look at my hands.
Oh.
I don't
So
know.
they're different.
Yeah?
Different forest. Still a
Not
forest.
everybody wakes up. When they wake up, the body that you're currently in might not be who you were. I know know that about the dream crystals. They only activate on people who, well, like you, are reborn. It shouldn't happen that way, but I don't know. That mine is weird. That's why we just go for gems and ore and stuff like that. We leave all the weird stuff alone.
Hmm.
But yeah, like the bodies you're currently in might not have been who you were. You could have your a different soul in there.
Well, body feels right, so
Yeah, but like the little mayor's gonna come up and poke you, like not like try to poke you somewhere, but just like inside might not be who you are on the outside. It could be who you were somewhere else. Maybe you died somewhere else and your soul's in this body. You get what I'm saying?
second chance, I guess.
Yeah, but what if the person you were was quite bad?
Redemption.
In Prismere, that doesn't really happen a lot.
How would you
But-
know?
Well, we've lived here since Prismere was created. We've kind of been like miners for a long time. That's our job. That's why we were created. But we haven't seen our creator in a while, and things are going weird here since the fight. We were told to get out of the mine because, well, something big went in there. We've been just hauled up, waiting for Strongheart to tell us it's okay to mine again.
Well, that's who we're about to go and try to find.
Oh, you know Strongheart?
Oh, we found some stuff linked to him. We're trying to hope if he knows us.
Well, he was with the carnival. I don't know if they're still kicking around. I don't know. They kind of scattered when the fighting happened because, well, it started near them. And Strongheart had the Valor's Call there, so I don't know. I hope we can find him. We're not doing anything until we get word from him, though. And there's, well, not many of us left, so we're kind of like scattered and trying to see how many of us are left. There's a couple hundred of us now. We're just, well, 5. And I don't even know who's in Tither and Hither right now. All the archfays that we know are not answering. But thankfully, Endelin's not coming here, so to win-win. But the storm's getting worse, so I don't know. Anyway, good luck. Have fun. I hope you get your memories back.
It'd be nice, but nothing too serious, I hope.
Yeah. Through all this, Amador is just like scratching his head trying to figure out what the hell's going on. But he definitely at some point just says, yeah, we should go talk to the... Well, we'll go talk to the Chalk clan. I think Jagu's usually the best of the bunch. Argentil of Shale, she's a little bit odd, but if the leader of the Chalk clan is still alive, he might let us through. The mayor just looks at Amador and says, "It's your funeral. Don't bring them here. There's not enough of us left to defend us. You didn't see us."
See who?
Right. See? They're learning. Perfect.
Cool. So as far as we're aware, we walked through a bunch of very, very empty villages.
Yep. Perfect. All right. And he moves you along again. You'd be able to tell that maybe within a half an hour, you're probably going to be out of the forest and onto the open stone of the mountain that you're currently on. And I think that's a good place to go for break. You guys all leave the Root and Riddle Inn. It's about a half an hour later before you guys come to the edge of the forest. I will put you back on the Yawn map. Not knowing if I can't remember if you have shown Sheep the little torn piece of map that you have, but you guys are now right on the edge here. So you've been a couple hours walking, and that's as far as you've gotten. From here, as soon as you leave the forest, you do see that you are high above the clouds in some sort of weird mountain. You have lightning rods placed all around that are channeling the lightning and causing the storm. You see one off to your left and way off in the distance to the north. Far above you, way in the distance, you do see stones that are in some sort of circle. And that is your destination that you have been told. In front of you is a really, really large lake. It looks like there are paths to go around it. But the problem is every 6 to 12 seconds, random lightning bolts are striking the earth all around you. So, for the next little bit, we're in a skill challenge to see if you get struck by lightning as you run across.
TPK!
So, Amador is going to just look at you, Al, and go, "Stay close. dodge what you can. It's not as bad as it looks. You can usually feel them coming, and you just kind of have to dive out of the way, or well, take it to the face. But I don't know if you guys can take it to the face too much. I don't really have any healing, so I can't help you there. Just try and stay on my roots.
What was it? Dodge, dip, dive, dip, and dodge?
Yeah, duck a lot, dive a lot, dip a lot, dodge a lot.
What I'm
Dodging's the
hearing is
most
if
part.
we can dodge a lightning bolt, we can dodge a dodgeball.
Yes, I don't know what a
They don't know what a
dodgeball is,
dodgeball is.
but if you can dodge a lightning bolt,
You can dodge the
then you can dodge a wrench. Yes, or dodge a rapier. Cool. Follow. I don't have a map for this because there's no point. All I need you guys to do, these are going to be at just a straight roll because you have been told what to do and you are having someone follow you. So I need acrobatics rolls, I need arcana rolls, and survival rolls. You get to choose which one you want to do. You need 3 successes before 3 failures.
Lucky success, or we're going to find out the hard way.
You are going to find out the shocking way, sir. So these will be at advantage. Sorry, at a straight roll to start. Let me look at my notes. Are they at
Do we get
advantage?
to choose
Because you have-
between arcane, athletics, and survival?
For the
Oh,
first
yes,
roll, yes.
Let me pick between -1, -1, and -1.
Everything's a -1. You're just rolling. I mainly need anything under 5s. So far, so good. We have a 5. And a 10.
So are these advantage or regular?
These are just regular rolls. This is the first time you guys have run. This is the first time you're doing any of this.
My first acrobatics was 3 then.
Okay. So that's
I did
3.
athletics.
Okay. So you all start following Amador as he starts running through a path. Behind you, you're all doing semi-good. But then you hear one of your guys trip and fall. And you see his hair start to stand on end. Who would try and wants to help him?
I will
Move
help.
out of the way. Okay. I need a acrobatics roll from you and an athletics roll from Belv.
Shit. I ain't helping much.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah. You reach out to grab him, and just as he rolls, you are lucky enough to not be like right on top of him when a lightning bolt comes down and explodes. Can I have dex saves from both of you, please? Okay.
Oh, it's been nice knowing you guys.
It's not terrible yet. Okay. An 8 and a 7. You guys randomly. Sorry, I felt something fall. You guys have. Your hair is singed as a lightning bolt comes down and just strikes everything. You take 1 point of lightning damage.
I'm wearing a metal helmet.
You're wearing a metal helmet, yes, but okay, I'll let you take 2 damage then, sir.
My hair's not singed, just my ears are big.
Yep. The helmet itself, oddly enough, absorbs some of it, but then the body takes the rest of it.
The
And
hair is
Emperor
fine
just
though.
looks back and goes, "Faster, quicker, come on, go, 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 go. We're not too far." Second round, please.
You said survival?
Yep, you can either choose between survival, arcana, or acrobatics to try and. You can either dodge the static bursts. Arcana would be disrupting the storm pattern. Survival would be finding a safe path. Ooh, wait, a nat 1. And what were you rolling? Arcana, survival, or acrobatics?
Icona.
Arcana. Beautiful. I am going to need you to use your Misty Step to get out of that, sir. As you immediately feel your wings start to flutter and something's coming. So I need you to burn that to get out of the way.
Cool.
What's it
Burn.
look like when you do it?
Like sort of flapping of the wings as instinctively try and fly out.
Mhm.
And sort of like a slight puff. It was like the puff of scales as something's fallen off the wings.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Frost, you're technically a reborn. You do not get the Here and Gone feats.
But I am technically alive.
You are. Ooh, right. Right. Thank you for
For
reminding
the-
me that.
For the time being.
For the
So
time
I
being, you
would.
are a Here and Gone. Thank you. I like that. Yes. Thank you. I forgot about that. Because you do need to eat. You do need to sleep. You need everything. Right. So yes, with a lucky, quick, you randomly, just luckily, for the first time, you feel something, and it's like, oh, I could do that, and you move it out of the way. The rest of your rolls are enough to not die. So nobody's got 2 failures in a row yet so far. That is good. Okay. Wade, you are luckily that you had that, or that was going to hurt, sir. I would have actually rolled a d6 to see how much damage you're going to take. Perfect. You are 2 rounds down. No one has failed more than 1 at a time so far. 3rd round, please, for the last skills challenge. There's the good rolls.
It's always the last roll.
It's always the last roll. I still need Belv.
Oh, I rolled all 3 the first time, so
did you?
those
Sorry.
rolls, so it's 16 survival.
Beautiful. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you after the first couple dodges and dips, dodges and ducks and dives, and some sort of weird magic from your fairy folk, and a quick step to the left from your Herringon, you guys manage to make your way across with the help of Amador. You dodge out of the way of the lovely lightning bolt, and after a half hour of running, only 2 of you are a little bit out of breath. You see Amador's kind of hunched over, kind of looks like he's trying to like get into the water a little bit just for some nourishment. And Quickfoot. That was a lot. Can I have a con save to see if you get any of exhaustion, please? Because that's the first time you've ran.
Why do you gotta hurt me like that?
Because I can. You should know by now. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, 16's good enough to be able to. I could run for miles. Maybe that's what I'm good at. Amador kind of like takes stock at you all and goes, singed but alive. That's a win-win today. Oh boy. Well, we have a little bit of a ways to go to Lockberry Henge. We have to wait for, once we get to their entrance, we have to, hopefully somebody's there and they're going to let us in to climb up the little stairs they have. Wait, what's that? Can I have perception rolls, please?
Advantage, disadvantage,
Straight roll.
straight roll.
Yep. He's pointing,
5.
so technically, yeah, he's pointing in an area, so technically advantage.
9.
Okay.
9.
Okay. Wade, you're the only one who hit the DC. Maybe because you teleported in the exact area you needed to be, it's kind of hard to tell. But after running, maybe you got back on top of Shaggy's shoulders. But you see where he's pointing, and you start to see some sort of rock throne shimmer into life. It is very large enough that it looks like something massive sits upon it. It is hewn from boulder and etched in some sort of symbols. It does have some sort of engraving on it that one of you can read. This thing appears in front of you, and it's almost like as soon as you get near it, all the lightning and rain stops. This wasn't there a minute ago. It showed up. Well, that's weird. Amador's just going to look at you guys and go, Did any of you do that? What is that?
Like a chair.
Can any of you read that? It's in Elvish.
The rabbit can.
Hmm.
What's it say?
It says, once Brandon finds out where I put it, I'm a traveler from a distant land. Sit on my throne, disciple, and remember. My name is Mazikoff, Keeper of the Stars. It looks like all 5 of you would fit on there, but it looks like it's meant for someone much larger. Do you tell everyone what it says?
Well, I probably read it out loud just to kind of hear the words myself.
Okay, I will take religion rolls, please. At disadvantage.
Yeah.
Oh, too bad it wasn't at advantage, Wade. Alright, none of you have heard of this being before. I'll roll for Amador. Amador doesn't know what this being is with a 4. Ooh, sheep. 15, you're close, but no. There's something maybe in the back of your head. You kind of hit a 20. You were close with the guidance for a 19. Love it. You're one off. Oh, that would have been great. Especially with who I had your
that.
character as before. Oh, it's too bad. 20 would have been fun. You have some. There's something there though. Like that name is on the tip of your tongue, but it's more the Keeper of the Stars is that you recognize more than the name. And with the 19, I'll let you know. You'd be able to figure out that all the symbols on here have something to do with astronomy.
Do I know what astronomy is?
Give me a history roll. With that 19, I'll just straight roll.
Can I guidance myself?
You're trying to think about it. I'll let that. Yeah. That's what guidance is for. And what does your guidance look like when you do it? This is like
hallucinating happens at the moment. I'm still trying to figure it the fuck out. Worked well the first time, didn't work the second time. I'm doing like that Spider-Man trying to figure out how the web can hold the hand thing.
nice. With a 14 history, I'm still gonna say has something to do with the stars. The Keeper of the Stars. There's just something in there. You know, it's got some sort of knowledge, but how or where, you have no idea.
I pass everything on that I'm aware of.
Okay. Amador kind of looks around and goes, I don't know what to do, guys. That's big.
It doesn't seem that big.
I just to remind everybody above table, but we have the rotten ogre's tooth that has the elvish glyph on it for moon, and we have the I don't know, something else to do with stars.
You don't know it's an ogre tooth, it's just a tooth. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I forgot to make you roll, but yeah.
Our rabbit person knows
Yes.
that it's a big tooth and that
Yep.
it has a glyph for moon on it.
Yep.
As well as the pendant that shows the phases. So I don't know if either of those would be relevant when compared to this.
Yeah,
I just
and
thought I'd mention it.
yeah, like the size of the tooth is the size of one of your like hands. Definitely meant for someone massive.
Just a quick question: how
Mhm.
tall is this?
It's about a 20-foot tall throne.
Oh,
I
like
didn't-
up to the seat part.
Oh, to get up to the seat, it's about 8 feet. But it's stone and rock. You'd be able to climb it. The big boys would be able to probably do a little small running jump on top if you wanted to sit upon it. I'm not forcing you to. It's just showed up for you.
I can't make a decision. I want to run around in the bag and pull out the D100 die.
Actually, I think Belv took that.
He was snorting it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go looking for it, and you probably just see me sitting there sniffing it. So it's like a comfort thing.
Sure. Can I borrow that?
The Dreadhelm looks at you and slowly and reluctantly he hands it over.
You'll get it back, promise. And I'm going to roll it.
Yep.
Yep.
Throw me
D100
D100 from that.
Seven.
Nothing happens. It's just a 7.
Cool. 7. I'm going to send the share. If it was below 50, I was going to say that otherwise. Thanks.
Is
Hand it back.
anyone else climbing up?
I'll look towards Sheep and see if he's got any want to do it.
Quickfoot's going to feel left out and is going to climb it too.
Okay.
Like, not so much sit, but more stand on it. Like, look at the top eye to eye instead of looking up at it. See if I can make more sense out of what my brain's tickling my brain at.
So you're going to climb on top of the chair and... Okay,
Well,
that works.
I'm going to stand on the seat and on the armrest
Yeah.
and just kind of like look around as I'm standing on it.
Okay. I just want to know if anyone's not.
I'll stay down by the dandelion.
Okay, so just 3 of you are on it. Perfect. Well, the 3 of you come down to a secret room then, please. If not everybody is, then not everybody's learning what you're about to learn. You will have to RP that out. All right. Perfect.
You all level up. Congratulations.
No, but 3 of you are getting a gift after this, and the other 2 are not. So, you all feel yourself forced to sit after standing and sitting up there for a minute. The throne forces you to sit. And then you're all taken somewhere. You're not too sure where. You all stand upon the remains of a great battle. Bismir is about to go through a change like no other, and you are about to witness what happened to cause this rift. I'm going to move you over to the full map of Prismere. You can turn the music down just a little. A set of curtains open. You find yourself sitting in what looks to be an outdoor amphitheater of bone and broken toys, suspended high above a fractured moon. Below, a grand mechanical stage hums to life, lined with turning gears, sparking wires, and steel wings that flap without sound. Below is a top-down view of Prismere, and it looks to be in real time. In the middle sits the Palace of Heart's Desire, where the Archfey Zybilna resides. All is quiet until you see a portal form at the top of the tower, and one lone gnome emerges. You see this gnome grab something out of his pack and press a button. This is what he looks like. Two of you will recognize him. All is quiet until he presses a button, and then out starts to pour hundreds of flying mechanical magical constructs out of a portal behind him. They head to both hither and thither. A screech is heard from the mother horn, where in yon, where you see Endalyn Moongrave, Creeping Lynn herself, fly out of her home upon a mechanical ornithopter and head to hither. You then see a battle take place in Prismere between all of its denizens against an army of metal machines and Endalyn's toy creations. They seem key on finding her coven sisters for some reason. The fight goes on for what seems days before all goes quiet and the clouds part, so that only the four main combatants are in view. The stage changes from top view to watching from the first row. On stage, the gnome stands proudly, a master of his craft cloaked in shadowed leather. Standing beside him, co-directing the scene, is Endalyn Moongrave, her long limbs gesturing in grand theatrical flair. I forgot to put pictures of her in. I will do that after. Her mouth splits, unnaturally wide in glee. At her cue, constructs of brass and bone march from backstage, towering marionette horrors with blade fingers and furnace hearts. They descend upon her sisters, Bavlorna and Skabatha, who cower at first, then snarl and strike back with arcane venom and vicious claws. The fight is brutal and brief. The gnome controls the battlefield like a conductor, his fingers flickering through illusionary screens in the air. Constructs swarm Bavlorna, chaining her tongue and plunging her into a vat of caustic ink. Skabatha tries to flee, but is snatched midair out of an iron puppet of clockwork wings. Her cries are silenced as she's dropped into a music box that slams shut and melts in flames. Endalyn bows to the gnome, a partner and co-creator in this macabre performance. High above the stage, a figure watches, immense, regal, and still. Zybilna. I do have another picture for you of where you currently are on the Motherhorn. I will take you to the map of Motherhorn. Her butterfly wings are tattered. Her eyes gleam with mad delight. She laughs, not in sorrow, but in wicked amusement, her voice echoing across the dream space like a choir of bells cracked in half. The sisters fought for your scraps and you gave them a show. Bravo, bravo! But it is time for the second part of our bargain to begin. Pack up, Lynn, it's time to go. And you, my little artificer of destruction, it is time for you to get back to work. She must be found and destroyed. As your laughter grows, the theater collapses into a spinning vortex of masks, metal, and broken dolls. The last thing you see is the little gnome gently winding a key in Endelin's back like a music box ballerina. She curtsies, and then you see the mother horn vanish and the curtain falls. And you are all woken back up, slumped in that chair. And let's go back up. The other two of you, when you see these three stand upon the chair, after about a minute, the chair vanishes from view. Nothing else seems to happen, but they are gone. What would you like to do for 2 days as they sit there and nothing else happens and they don't come back? What would you want to do?
Is Abadir still with us?
Amador is still there. What would you like to do when you realize they might not be coming back?
I don't think it would take 2 days to sit and wait. It would be like an hour.
Yeah. Same. The second they're gone, I'm like, huh. Well, time for some new friends.
So as you guys start to drift off, Amador just kind of looks at you guys and goes, "This is Prismir. Like I said, things are unraveling. Things are going weird. I don't know what's going on here, guys. We can make our way back up there if you like. Maybe we can find someone to keep watch here. I really don't know what to do.
Might as well. Is it gonna
Uh,
cost us anything?
Not just time, other than that. But there were 6 of us. Now there's 3. I don't know. As you guys slowly start to move, you start to see rocks move and form
Mm-hmm.
and start to put a small dome around you and above you, so you are not allowed to leave. This goes quick. You can't even try to get out. It's about a 40-foot circular dome. Almost as if if the throne comes back, it'll be right in the middle.
Hmm.
Luckily, Frost isn't here and he's going to go through all this food. What would you two like to do for the amount of time that this happens? I'll leave that up to you. Amador is panicking. He's trying to scrape and, like, you'd see him start talking to things that aren't there. He's trying to make deals with any fey creature that he can try and contact, and nothing is happening.
I'll pretty much practice with the sword,
Mm-hmm.
make some conversation with it.
It is angry that there's nothing to hit and nothing to kill.
I figured as much.
But it is... He's giving you pointers for the first time.
Ooh, wonderful.
But he also keeps looking at Amador and going, maybe he can practice with us. And if, well, we take off a couple of feathers, a couple leaves, it might be okay.
No killing. Not that one.
I know. He's useful.
Sure.
What are you doing for 2 days, sir?
Eventually, he's probably using the hour timer and the dice and tracking how much time goes by.
There's no sand in there, but you can keep flicking it over if you like.
Oh, without sand. Yeah.
There's no sand in there, sir. You could try and put sand in if you like. I would just take an intelligence roll to see if you can figure out how to open it.
Sure, I got 2 days.
You do. I will, within 2 days, I'll let you do one roll of advantage.
Would he even know what he actually has? Did we do a history check on that's an hour class that's empty?
Nope, but good call. I'll let you do a history roll first to see if you know what it is.
Well, apparently I rolled intimidation, but the dice was a 6, so it doesn't really matter. His first is 14.
Okay. That's enough to know what it is, but it seems to not have sand in it or any way of opening it.
Yeah, it's broke. It'll just get left on the ground somewhere unless somebody else sees it and picks it up.
How many times did you turn it over, do you think?
Well, none. If it doesn't work, then
Okay.
yeah, would have been trying to figure out how to. And that would have been it.
Right. So maybe one day if it gets picked up by someone else, maybe something else will happen. But yeah, put it down. Nothing happens for you. Perfect. Is there anything you guys want to discuss while you sit and wait? Because apparently something's keeping you here.
Any of
Amador
us
at
wouldn't.
one point pretty much just sits and waits. But he'll tell you guys more about this place in 2 days.
We wouldn't happen to know anyone that rules over this spot, and we just trespassed, would we?
This particular spot, well, it would be Endelin. Moongrave, well, Jan is hers. She created most of all this. And a lot of the creatures that live here. She'd tell you about, all her servants. Most of them are mechanical constructs, but she does employ a lot of goblins. She has, he doesn't know a lot about them. He just has heard stories, but she employs a lot of goblins that do most of her dirty work. They basically go around forcing people to do stuff for her, but she also has some sort of theater there, and one of the goblins is the MC. He's never heard the name, but he knows there's a bunch of goblins that do all her stage work for her and with her. Yeah, the only other things he'll tell you about Jan, where you currently are, is that there's not a lot of things here other than there are flying creatures, but he hasn't seen them in a while, and they do sometimes offer travel between each place. So if the Fey Gate's not working, he's hoping there's a couple at Lockberry Henge. They're like giant eagles.
Mordor we go.
But if you want to spend more time learning about hither and thither, he'll tell you all he knows.
Yeah. More knowledge, the better.
Okay, perfect. At some point over in the next 2 weeks, I will give you guys a write-up of what he tells you.
Okay.
I would be listening, probably not asking too much. Eventually give in to boredom and play with the creepy doll and the pixie plushie.
Perfect. Excellent. The creepy doll is quite creepy, and you will eventually find a little wind-up thing on the back of it. And if you wind it up, it will start speaking to you at some point. Would you like to try and wind it up?
Absolutely.
Beautiful. When you wind it up, I will show you at some point what it looks like, because I can't remember off the top of my head. The creepy doll looks very lifelike. And as soon as you wind it up, it kind of shakes its head and jumps out of your hand. It looks up at you and goes, Who are you? What's happening? What? Did you put me in here? Do you work for Endolin? I told you I was doing my job right. You didn't have to. Am I like this forever?
Callan's body. We found you in a village, but everyone was dead.
Well, yeah, that sounds like Endolin's work. You do one thing wrong and you get stuck in a doll. And then she goes still again as the winder stopped. You
what
currently have. She'll start going, thank you. Oh, wow. You're going to have a conversation with a creepy doll of someone whose soul Endolin put in a mechanical lifelike of that person. So you now have a wind-up creepy doll of an actual real person's soul trapped inside.
It'll pretty much be second nature just to keep it wound.
Beautiful.
Until
I do have her
it takes
name
them off
here.
anyway.
Her name is Pincushion. The living doll. Her actual name was Pincushion, but she is now a living doll. She is going to tell you all about being Scabatha Nightshade's best friend growing up. Or so she thought she was until she learned that Scabatha Nightshade was an actual Archfey hag. And created Hither and subjugated most of its people, including her. She was given them as a gift to Endolin, who put her in the doll.
It's what best friends are for, isn't it?
Yes. She calls Scabatha Granny Nightshade. The rest of you, after 2 days, find yourself back where you currently were, with some sort of weird dome around you now, and you each have 2 levels of exhaustion. You also, for your efforts, gain proficiency in one of... where to go here? One of Mazikov's abilities. He's granting you something from him as a reward for watching what happened a month ago. So, you get 2 levels of exhaustion, but you get to choose between proficiency in Arcana, Deception, History, Insight, Intimidation, or Survival. I will type that out for you. You can choose proficiency in one of them now. And as you all get off, the throne vanishes and the dome goes away. And in all your heads, Mazikoth goes, that is what happened. What happens next will be up to you and those remaining. Good luck. I now travel the stars again. Amador pretty much walks right up to you guys and goes, you guys look like it's been 2 days. You've gone 2 days up there. Frost, you're hungry. You're starving.
So 2 days have gone by?
Yeah. You watched whatever you watched. Took 2 days there. You watched it all.
Christ, haven't gods heard of things called intermissions?
Yeah, they don't need that.
Amador's just gonna look at you guys and goes, What happened? We after like a couple hours, we didn't think you guys were going to come back. Like the whole throne vanished, and well, as soon as we left, that whatever I guess brought that in, put the dough up. We couldn't leave. We had a great time to get to know each other, though. What happened?
Uh, we watched a play.
We're in yawn, so yeah, that does make sense. But I don't think she has the ability to create a throne like that. She might. She likes little tiny stuff.
Like this one.
Yeah, yeah. That's weird. But yeah, she's a weird
She's
girl.
a weird girl.
I'll admit, I got lost halfway through. The acting wasn't particularly good. I think it was the war or what caused the fighting.
I'm gonna put.
I
I'm gonna in
I haven't
roll
urged-
20. Sorry, in roll 20, I'm gonna put you the pictures of Endolin, Skabatha, and Bavlorma. This is Endolin. This is Skabatha. And this is Bavlorna. Those are the 3 coven, the hags, that you saw. Now there's only one.
Yeah, so which one is which?
Endolin is the top one, and then
That's
Skabatha, and then Bavlorna.
yeah. So one of them, the doll said ran Tither,
Yep.
and then which one was that?
The one in the middle.
The one in the middle. Okay.
Yeah, Skabatha. Granny Nightshade. Not that, well, she would have told you about her, but probably not. Well, she might have described her to you. Yes, you had 2 days. But she doesn't know how long she's been in that doll.
But yeah, so overall, very good play. I have an urge to punt a gnome, but I feel that's by the by.
What happened, guys? Like, what was the play?
Ugh. I don't really know where to begin. Happened too fast. Brain didn't absorb a lot, but I enjoyed it.
Beckford's just gonna think out loud. This place is so weird. So if he's staring at somebody, which is possible, they might hear that thought.
Everybody's probably near you.
If I make eye contact with anybody when I think this, I'm not sure who.
Okay. I'm gonna
It's funny if
copy
it was me again.
I'm gonna copy and paste the vision in our Oops All Reborn Discord for you, but the other guys won't know it until you tell them. But I'll still put it in so you know it.
I'm definitely going to start trying to describe the play, but keep forgetting parts. It's always like, oh, but we saw this bit, which explains why we saw that part.
Yep.
I fell asleep during this bit, but that monologue was too long.
So yeah, give me all the 3 of you. Just give me straight history rolls. Okay. Yeah, there was a lot of information there. You witnessed that for 2 days straight. So you'd probably get about half of it out. Between the 3 of you, you'd probably be able to figure out most things. It's like, oh yeah, and then that happened, and then this happened. But you'd probably get about 70% of it right with those rolls. Enough that Amador can put most of that together because he knows most of what's going on here. And he's going to tell you that you guys witnessed the actual battle that took place here a month ago. It's like, that makes a lot more sense now. And you're sure Skabatha and Bavlorma are dead? And Endolin is gone? She just went poof. Did you get the gnome's name? And Zabiln is gone too?
How does the wind-up doll react to Skabatha being dead?
She is... If the doll could cry, it would. But there's also a little bit of... There's sadness there, but more graciousness and happy. It's like she's trying to cry, but nothing's happening.
Quickfoot's gonna, person who's asking the questions, Quickfoot's gonna look at them and say, sure. Not confirming yes, not confirming no, just sure. Kind of like saying yes, but not really.
Yep. Wow. Well, that could be why most things are gone to shit and things... Maybe things are falling apart. Because if none of the Archfey are here, and especially if she's gone, I don't know if Prismere can last without their creator. I don't think she's ever left here before. I think we're on a time crunch, people. We gotta go. We need to find someone who has enough power to maybe do something. I don't know. There's another handful of Archfays here. I've only met a couple of them. Well, if we get to Tither, I don't know. Maybe Yarnspinner can help us.
That's a name.
He's great. Tells great stories. He might know what's going on. He's one of the last to come here, and she let him in. So I don't know. There's a few here. Some of them we have to stay away from. But let's keep moving, guys.
Quickfoot's gonna look at him and say, sure.
Is the dome gone?
The dome is gone. You guys can move. Yes.
Okay.
And oddly enough, the storm is gone. Completely gone. No lightning, no rain. It is all quiet, and slowly all the clouds are starting to disperse.
Just
I think
when you thought stuff couldn't get any more creepy.
And I think that's a great place to leave it.
Yarnspinner? What kind of name's a Yarnspinner?
I don't know, sir.
You probably told us he strings along a long story.
I told you the place that he's in is bigger.
Just name him Bob.
He's here?
Yeah, you're carrying Prismere around with you, sir.
Huh.
Right?